Next to the project panel, we're going to see the source and the program panels if you have it on Editing Workspace. I'm going to go ahead and drag the Boy on the Beach clip directly to the timeline. I'm going to zoom in by pressing the plus key a few times. If I want to play this clip, all I have to do is press the space bar. I can also click on these controllers here, play, stop toggle, or I can scrub the timeline by moving the CTI or current time indicator back and forth. So basically with this, I am just stating that the program panel displays whatever I have in the timeline. So whatever sequence 1 or sequence 2 or whatever my sequence is active at the moment, and whatever frame my CTI happens to be on top of, that's what's going to show here. And I can play it, I can pause it, I can use the shuttle, I can use the jug, I can select different displays, scopes, vector scopes, etc., etc. More on that a little bit later when we're talking about color correction. I can also scrub this little CTI here, and that's going to be very similar to scrubbing this one here in the timeline. Look at these timecode numbers right here, 211, 211 here in the timeline as well. I can also set in and out points by clicking on these icons here. I can also press I for in and O for out. This lets me navigate to the in point. This lets me navigate to the out point. This will play the in to the out point. Let's see how that works. I for in, O for out. Now I'm going to play in to out. This icon here is a loop. So if I click it and now I play here, it's just going to loop. I will stop it. This icon here is for safe margins. This has to do with the overscan. This we already saw is the output icon. I can also perform a lift and an extract from here. More on that later. And of course I can export just one frame. This is important because many a times we need to export frames to create, say, artwork for a DVD cover or something like that. I can also add timeline markers or sequence markers by clicking on this icon right here. These two icons let me navigate to different edit points. The shortcut for these we're going to see a little bit later, but it is page up and page down. These are very important icons, and this lets me navigate back one frame at a time or forwards one frame at a time. The source panel is very similar to the program panel, except it deals with a source and not with what you have in the timeline. If I want to open any file on the source panel, all I need to do is double click it or drag it to the source panel. So I'm going to go ahead and double click this one from the project panel. And there you go. I see almost identical controls in here. Output, safe margins, loop, insert, overlay, export frame. Very similar to what we have here. We're going to see more of these a little bit later. Of course, my navigational ones, in point, out point, markers, and go to in point, go to out point, and of course play in to out. So very similar to what I had before, except this is dealing with a source. I can use this to fine-tune my edit, as we will see a little bit later on.